World Quiz 2022, taking 551st place. All these activities and results allow staff of Kazakh National Agrarian Research University to look confidently into the future and become institutional locomotive for the development of agricultural education and science in Kazakhstan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are very pleased that very authoritative and respected people are participating in our event. According to the program, head of the representative office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Kazakhstan in Almaty, Askar Shokubayev, was supposed to perform a speech. But unfortunately, in the morning, he informed us that he will be now at another meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Kazakhstan. And he asked His Excellency Ulukbek Kenjibayev, Attaché Representative of Office in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Kazakhstan in Almaty, to be with us. Your Excellency Ulukbek Kenjibayev, thank you very much for being with us. Now, I'd like to ask our distinguished guest to make a speech. A representative of the United Nations Department of Public Information, Vladimir Samek. Your Excellency, Mr. Vladimir Samek, the floor is yours. Department of Public Information, Vladimir Samek.
Ahmed, thank you. Спасибо. Good morning, Your Excellency, Mr. Rector, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to be here today and participating in such a representative roundtable dedicated to undoubtedly a very significant event dedicated to the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's membership in the United Nations. What we see that these 3 decades were truly great momentum in the life not only of the Republic of Kazakhstan but also of the United Nations. We saw a great achievement, we saw a great contribution of the Republic of Kazakhstan. It means, for example, ban on the nuclear testing, decision to not host the nuclear weapons on its soil, and of course, very significant activities that have been initiated by Kazakhstan, like, for example, creating the CICA or SVNDA organization, the region of Central Asia. And of course, it has been, I think, quite rightfully reflected also by the United Nations that Kazakhstan became a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, representing not only itself but also countries of Central Asia. And nowadays we see that Kazakhstan is also a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council for 23 years. I mean, those are the things which I think are showing the dynamics and the multi-vector, I would say, foreign policy of the Republic of Kazakhstan and its success, helping the others' participation in the peacekeeping operations of the United Nations, contribution to the sustainable development starting from the year 2000 when the Millennium Declaration has been adopted through the Millennium Development Goals, and later on, since 2016, the Sustainable Development Goals Initiative. We see that through our distinguished and dedicated partner, the Kazakh National Agrarian Research University, that the sphere of education and science is very much actually showing the dedication to the future development of Kazakhstan as a country in the region of Central Asia, but also as a global player. And here I would like to specifically underline the importance of the leadership of the university, starting from His Excellency, the Rector and his team, but also the very important focus on the young people. Because when we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals or Agenda 2030, we see that it's already a task for the future generation, nowadays students. And I do believe that like we had before and like we are having now, there will be many more opportunities to exchange the views, to share the experience, and to work together to achieve much desired better and peaceful future of the Republic of Kazakhstan, the region of Central Asia, as well as the world itself. Thank you very much. Kuprahmet, большое спасибо.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vladimir Samek. And next, our distinguished guest, despite of the fact that he's on the business trip, agreed to speak at our round table. Now, I want to give the floor with great pleasure to the head of the Agriculture Organization of United Nations Partnership and the Liaison Office in the Republic of Kazakhstan, Khairat Najmedinov. Your Excellency, Khairat Najmedinov, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Do you hear me well? Вы меня слышите?
Да, слышим, все хорошо.
Okay, thank you. Your Excellencies, dear guests and colleagues, let me, on behalf of Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, in Kazakhstan, welcome you all to this important and exciting event. We gather together to launch a new educational research and youth program of Kazakh National Agrarian University, and as well to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan membership in the United Nations. Nowadays, there are many discussions around our sustainable future, but how can we ensure that the next generation will have enough nutritious food and still be mindful of the planet's natural resources? In other words, how can we transform current agri-food system for a better future for all of us? FAO has dedicated itself to three biggest interlinked challenges of SDGs. First, ending extreme poverty, hunger, and malnutrition. Second, promoting sustainable agriculture and sustainable use of biodiversity and natural resources for development. And third, combating and fostering resilience to climate change. Kazakhstan, along with other countries in the region, has taken responsibility to achieve SDGs and started to implement them. However, a significant amount of work is yet to be done. Restriction in the supply of trade of food, a decrease in income of the population, especially in rural areas, caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the growing food prices, are contributing to decline in food security in Kazakhstan and across Central Asia. And as you know, Kazakhstan plays a very important role in ensuring food security in Central Asia and in general in our region. In this regard, transforming our agri-food system to be more efficient and resilient and sustainable is among our most powerful ways to make progress toward achieving all 17 SDGs. FAO recently provided technical assistance to the Ministry of Agriculture of Kazakhstan, the development of two strategic documents: the National Project for the Development of Agro-Industrial Complex for 2021 to 2025 for the next 5 years, and the concept for development of agro-industrial complex until 2030. We recommended the special attention to be paid to sustainable development of agriculture, and particularly to sustainable development of food systems. We also urge the government to pay attention to development of agribusiness, and with special attention, special focus on supporting of smallholders, small farmers, and family farmers. We're glad that many of our recommendations were heard and included in these two strategic documents that I mentioned before. But the country still has a lot to change and improve its agri-food policy. I would like to add that FAO is already implementing and planning to launch several projects to develop family farming, rural development, digitalization in agriculture, improve land relations and nutrition, as well to analyze state support for agriculture, which is, as you know, very important. We have a lot of discussion about subsidies, for example, in agriculture, and develop appropriate recommendation based on the best international experience. We think that the work of research institutes such as KAZNARO is vital in achieving the sustainable development goals in the country, in developing the agriculture sector. As the universities in general serve as incubators for fresh, new ideas and solutions to the many global challenges we face in future. On behalf of FAO, and as a graduate of this university, I would like to assure that we are ready to work with KAZNARO on our various projects and programs, and we invite the best graduates of this university to join us. I want to thank KAZNARO for organizing this event and all of you for coming together to discuss these important issues. Let us work together to end hunger, poverty, and malnutrition. Thank you for your time, and I wish you a productive event. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Kairat Najmedinov, for your interesting speech. Now I want to give the floor to the representative of the UNESCO Almaty Cluster Office, Her Excellency Khalapova Aygul. To the representative of the UNESCO Almaty Cluster Office, Her Excellency Khalapova Aygul.
Сәлеметсізбе, ladies and gentlemen, құрметті ханымдар мен мырзалар, уважаемые дамы и господа. От кластерного бюро ЮНЕСКО Алматы я хотела бы поблагодарить прежде всего ректора, руководство университета за приглашение и за проведение данного мероприятия. Данное мероприятие очень особенное и нужное, особенно в последние дни нужна важность и поднятие таких вот вопросов. Я рада вас приветствовать всех и очень рада участвовать на данном мероприятии, на круглом столе, посвященном знаменательному юбилею, 30-летию вступления Казахстана в Организацию Объединенных Наций. Как вы знаете, ЮНЕСКО – это специализированное агентство ООН по вопросам образования, науки, культуры и коммуникации. Это как раз те сферы общественной жизни, которые имеют прямое отношение к развитию личности и общества. Хотелось бы обратить ваше внимание на тот факт, что развитие личности идет с юного возраста, а молодежь является приоритетной группой для всех программ ЮНЕСКО в целом и в частности нашего офиса. Наш офис работает в Казахстане, Кыргызстане, Таджикистане и Узбекистане. И сегодня у нас особое мероприятие. Казахстан и ЮНЕСКО имеют долгую историю плодотворного сотрудничества. В общей сложности с 1992 года Казахстан ратифицировал 16 различных международных конвенций ЮНЕСКО. Казахстан со своей богатой историей обладает огромным историко-культурным, природным и нематериальным наследием, которым можно и нужно гордиться, в которые входят уникальные традиции, обычаи, обряды, сохраняющие национальный дух казахского народа и всех казахстанцев, живущих на территории данной страны. Исторические корни такого процесса формировались на протяжении тысячелетий, передаваясь из поколения в поколение, и начиналось это все с Великого Шелкового пути. Богатство культуры и науки, образования Казахстана отражены в списках всемирного наследия, куда вошли 3 объекта культурного наследия и 2 объекта природного наследия, 11 элементов нематериального культурного наследия, которые вошли в репрезентативный список нематериального культурного наследия человечества. И нематериальное культурное наследие является важнейшей составляющей частью национальной культуры, укрепляющую духовную связь поколений и эпох, а также влияет на все сферы общественной жизни. Казахстан должен гордиться и входит в список ЮНЕСКО 10 биосферных резерватов, утвержденных в рамках программы ЮНЕСКО «Человек и биосфера». Казахстан поддержал открытие Центра сближения культур и глиссиологического центра, который находится здесь, в Алматы. В Казахстане есть 26 школ, ассоциированных школ ЮНЕСКО. Это огромная сеть по всему миру, и Казахстан – это часть этой сети. В стране открыты 4 кафедры ЮНЕСКо. Для ЮНЕСКО одним из приоритетов сохранения культурного и природного наследия является тесное сотрудничество с сектором образования. Сохранение культурного природного наследия осуществляется через школы, через систему высшего образования, поскольку идет уже вклад в развитие и повышение человеческого капитала и человеческого потенциала. Сегодня мы живем в принципиально новом времени. 90% знаний, которыми обладает сегодня человечество, было получено в течение последних 30 лет. Такой рост научных открытий и разработок как в сфере естественных, социальных, гуманитарных наук дало начало новой модели экономического устройства, так называемой экономики знаний, где главным ресурсом является человеческий потенциал, наши идеи и наши инновации. Вот сегодня мы посмотрели видео, которое подтверждает это направление, это движение и эти цели. Сложность стоящих перед современным миром задач выходит за рамки одной дисциплины, и Казахстан поддерживает ЮНЕСКО и ООН в целом в продвижении междисциплинарных подходов в деятельности по обеспечению устойчивости, налаживая сотрудничество с многочисленными заинтересованными сторонами, в частности, с научно-исследовательскими институтами, музеями, университетами, правительственными и неправительственными организациями. И здесь важное значение имеет межсекторальное сотрудничество, система образования, науки, включая социально-гуманитарные науки и, конечно, культуры. Казахстан активно поддерживает привлечение молодежи к охране и популяризации такого богатого культурного наследия страны. Знание и понимание сохранения своего культурного наследия, соответственно, наследия других народов, которые проживают вместе с нами, дает понимание и осмысление исторических процессов, происходивших на определенных географических территориях с определенными климатическими условиями, понимание общих человеческих ценностей, понимание взаимосвязи поколений и понимание многовековой мудрости народов, знаний, традиций, навыков, которые переходят от бабушек к мамам, от пап к папам, от пап к своим сыновьям. И великие творения наших предков, архитектурные творения зодчих и мастеров, их знания и техники ремесленников – все это достояние, которое дошло до наших дней и уже становится нашей задачей сохранить и донести до следующих поколений людей, которые будут жить на этой планете и в нашей стране. И, конечно, сохранение культурного наследия, как материального, так и нематериального, природного наследия дает понимание того, что культура больше объединяет нас всех, объединяет народы, страны и является такой хрупкой ценностью каждого народа и каждого человека. Одним из достижений является, например, за последние 30 лет, например, то, что Алматы с 2017 года включен в сеть ЮНЕСКО креативных городов в категории музыка. Пока в Центральной Азии Алмата – это единственный город, который входит в эту сеть. И, наверное, есть смысл поддержать город Акимат в продвижении таких вот благих целей креативной индустрии, креативного подхода. И очень приятно, что в 2020 году Акимат города Алматы создал группу «Совет креативных индустрий», и куда ЮНЕСКО тоже вошло. На наш взгляд, за последние 2 года особенно креативные индустрии показали свою необходимость, показали свою значимость, и, конечно же, нам всем нужна активная поддержка творческой молодежи, развитие также в цифровом пространстве. И я от всей души хотела бы поздравить всех граждан Казахстана, всех присутствующих здесь со знаменательным событием. И желаю процветания, гармонии, сохраняя ценности мира и добрососедства, которые мы все смогли и наши предки смогли пронести через века до сегодняшнего дня. Желаю всем новых идей, плодотворных работ и интересных дискуссий, обсуждений. Көп рахмет сізге.
Үлкен рахмет сізге. Thank you very much. And according to the program, His Excellency Marco Alberti, Ambassador of Italy in Kazakhstan, gave his he's agreed to make a speech online, but I don't know, is he representative of the embassy Italy to make a speech online, but I don't know. I think it's time to give a speech to the another distinguished guest of our round table, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to the Republic of Kazakhstan, His Excellency André Carstens. Dear André Carstens, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья. I am pleased to take part in this roundtable. 30 years after Kazakhstan's accession to the United Nations. Thank you for giving me the floor on behalf of the Netherlands. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals set up in 2015 by the UN General Assembly should be achieved by all nations by the year 2030. The Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, of the UN, and I'm happy that you're taking part, is responsible to monitor progress on several of these goals. You mentioned a few, and I will mention some others. Zero hunger is one of them, and life below water, which is, of course, very much connected to Rybolovstvo, and life on land, which is very much all about agriculture, as most of our colleagues are dealing with. For an agricultural research university such as yours, KazNaru, FAO is therefore the most relevant UN organization. We, as the Netherlands, have been one of its most active members as of the very beginning in 1945. And my mother, I already spoke about her when I was visiting your university. She was involved in the first decade of FAO when the seat was being moved from Quebec in Canada to Rome in Italy. She was a lawyer working in the Ministry of Agriculture. I'm very proud of her. And by the way, her family name is Van Wageningen, so that is another nice connection. I'm very proud of her. Over the past 2.5 years, the Netherlands University specialized in agriculture, I already mentioned Wageningen University, has been collaborating closely with KazNaru and KazNau, and nowadays Wageningen University courses are being offered as part of your curriculum. Last year, for example, 20 students from your university completed an online course on food chemistry. And this course was taught by top Wageningen University teachers, lecturers. One of the most striking concerns of our time apart from Ukraine, if you allow me to refer to this, is, of course, climate change. In order to improve processes, accelerate innovation, and reduce climate impact across the supply chain, the Netherlands has developed the concept of farming the future. This concept calls for a better cooperation between business, governance, and knowledge institutions, which has been the success formula, by the way, over the decades. We call it the golden triangle. But together we reflect our country's ambition to achieve a fully circular agricultural system by 2030. Our agri-food and horticulture sectors have an extensive knowledge of and experience in creating such circular agricultural system. In addition, it will guarantee food security and it will generate economic opportunities, which are desperately needed these days. Experience has shown that the best solutions are found by observing, listening, and understanding the complete picture in a comprehensive manner. This drives us to seek better solutions for all kinds of challenges around the globe. Therefore, we apply our expertise and creativity for solving real challenges. In Kazakhstan, for example, a group of 14 leading fruit-growing companies known as Dutch Fruit Solutions of Kazakhstan, DFSK, and we saw it in your introductory movie. So this group of company is cooperating with your university. You know the project, you know the demonstration plot with a high-tech fruit orchard in your experimental farm in Talgar district, close to Almaty. And I guess you know that this demo plot has caught the attention of other fruit growers in the wider region. Just recently, last week, online winter school training sessions took place. Companies from the Netherlands like Koppert, Fleuren, Verbeek, and Vol Creek organized trainings on topics such as pollination, biocontrol, crop protection, and spraying. Also, master classes from the Dutch company Delphi are part of the Knowledge to Knowledge program, which took place in autumn last year. There were offline master classes on apple, stone fruits, and berry crops. This public-private partnership unites companies, knowledge institutions, and governments, as I said, the golden triangle, in order to contribute to our common sustainable development goals. It also unites the UN goals with Casnaro and the Netherlands. Let me conclude by congratulating you once more with this university. 30 years is a milestone. Therefore, I wish you all a meaningful and, first of all, fruitful conference. Nazar Laringizcha, Kup Rahmet. Sawbolnes.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Andre Karstens, for your participating and making such an interesting speech. Now, I want to give a speech to the Council Hungarian Trade Advisor, Kovacs Tibor. Your Excellency, Kovacs Tibor, microphone is yours.
Yes, thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Kovacs Tibor,
ladies and gentlemen,
microphone is
1992 is a significant milestone in the history of Kazakhstan, which marked the recognition of the country's independence by the world community. 30 years ago, Kazakhstan became the 168th member state of the United Nations. Kazakhstan became the first of the 5 Central Asian countries to be elected as a non-permanent member and president of the UN Security Council. The UN Security Council is the permanent main body of the World Organization, which has the key responsibility for making peace on the planet. Since the collapse of the USSR, Kazakhstan appeared to be in a difficult situation. The country inherited nuclear weapons from the Soviet Union and became the 4th largest nuclear power in the world. However, only a year later, the country decided to close its nuclear program and completely abandon possession of nuclear weapons. As a result, Kazakhstan became the first and so far the only country in the world that voluntarily renounced its nuclear weapons. Since then, the first stage, Kazakhstan has been pursuing a policy of peaceful settlement of any conflicts and maximum expansion of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. At the same time, Kazakhstan was one of the initiators and transformation of the United Nations into more constant, integrated and efficient structure, which uses conflict prevention and preventive diplomacy tools more effectively, as well as cooperation with regional and sub-regional organizations. The Astana process, the negotiation platform proposed by Kazakhstan, was the first in the history of the civil war in Syria, when during the peace settlement, the country's authorities and the opposition groups sat the negotiation table. An important outcome of Kazakhstan work in the UN Security Council was lobbying efforts to impart political influence to the Security Council. The Security Council moved from making recommendations to making political statements. And the first one, the statement made by the Security Council Chairman aimed at strengthening confidence building measures within the framework on non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Kazakhstan is a very valued and active member of the community. I am confident that the next 30 years ahead will also be full of success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kovac Tibo, and we hope we'll make a good cooperation with you in next years. So our next speaker is Shermin Pehlivan Turk, Vice Consul of Turkey. Your Excellency Shermin Pehlivan Turk, the microphone is yours. Turkey. Your Excellency Shermin Pehlivan Turk.
Director,
The microphone
colleagues
is yours.
and students, thank you for this event and inviting us. So from the first day of membership in the United Nations, the Republic of Kazakhstan has been active within almost all of its institutes. Kazakhstan supports the UN Charter and priorities of peace and security, economic development, social development, the environment, international law, humanitarian issues, and health. During its membership in the UN, in different years, Kazakhstan has put forward many initiatives that have been or are being implemented. Kazakhstan's contributions include rejecting the possession of nuclear weapons and founding the International Day Against Nuclear Tests. Kazakhstan has become the first of the 5 Central Asian countries to be elected as a non-permanent member and president of the UN Security Council. Now, the 4 priorities were vital to the stability of Central Asia states, particularly the issue of water, security, as the RLC was nearly depleted, and diplomatic spats between Uzbekistan and Tajikistan over water resources and the Rogun Dam. Water and energy security were the most prominent, as the Central Asian states are primarily landlocked developing countries and are resource rich. Now, currently, the UN is represented by over 20 organizations in Kazakhstan. These range from CICA to UN Special Program for the Economies of Central Asia, to Green Bridge Partnership Program, and also to combat terrorism and counter violent extremism with the UN counterterrorism units and with member states. Work is also being carried out to incorporate the main postulates of the initiative in the activities of the organization and their reflection in UN documents. Initiative for the establishment of the UN Regional Hub for Central Asia and Afghanistan in Almaty is in this regard very important, because Kazakhstan is actively contributing to mitigating the tensions. So at the 30th year of its membership in the United Nations, Kazakhstan has proved to be very active and following a very dynamic and fruitful policy in the United Nations, and I'm sure it will keep advancing in the future as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Shermin Pehlivan Turk. I want to give a speech to our next speaker, Honorary Professor of Kaznaru, former permanent representative of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the United Nations, and one of the most popular politicians of Kazakhstan, Your Excellency Birganim Aydimova. Your Excellency Birganim Aydimova, microphone is yours. Birganim Sarievna, вы еще не включили микрофон. Пожалуйста, включите, пожалуйста, микрофон свой.
Good morning, good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today is a special day because today's roundtable is on the eve of the 2nd of March, when Kazakhstan joined and accepted by United Nations. And I'm so happy and my great appreciation to the rector, my friend, distinguished and respectable Tlektes Yespolov, for arranging this event and inviting me for that one. For me, United Nations is very native, something dealing with my soul or body or international body, because I have been permanent representative of Kazakhstan to the United Nations, and I served 6.5 years. And I am so proud to know, to be, and to belong a little bit to United Nations. As you see, Kazakhstan is one of the countries who joined to the United Nations just 30 years ago. And I would like just to share and to give some remarks about it. The path of independence of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The trajectory of nations around the world to reach the independence have been very varied, as confirmed by history. A territory becomes a sovereign state if its independence is recognized by the United Nations and takes it a much aspired seat on this apex world body. The course of Kazakhstan nationhood has been uniquely peaceful without upheavals. Drawing upon the rich spiritual nomadic traditions of the past, my government and people took off with fearless and bold aspirations for the future. The most treasured aspiration and crowning glory for any nation is to gain independence and have a sovereign status. Kazakhstan, we are proud to say, attained it with sanctity and in a peaceful and dignified manner from the USSR when this great power collapsed. At the dawn of independence, Kazakhstan commenced its statehood by implementing reforms aimed at transforming a centrally planned economy to a progressive free market system. We gradually shifted away from a totalitarian model of government to a forward-looking multi-party democracy upholding human dignity and freedom. Over the past 30 years, Kazakhstan has established diplomatic relations with 186 countries and has become one of the dynamically developing economies of Eurasia and, most of all, a respected voice of the world stage. The country's achievements are well recognized by the UN system with its 35 specialized agencies, funds, and programs, the OSCE, EU, AU, and other transnational organizations and their constituent member states. During the historic 3 decades of the revival of our statehood, we have lived without wars and serious conflicts with others or within our borders. We soon gained friends globally and have no enemies, with us one an esteemed niche in the international arena. Today, our friends from different bodies of United Nations just mentioned some of them. I calculated that Kazakhstan became leader or initiated around more than 20 suggestions and recommendations to the international community. And as you know, no one initiative have been accepted by United Nations or General Assembly or another bodies without huge discussions and huge disputes about it. And Kazakhstan and its foreign policy and Ministry of Foreign Affairs with all diplomatic staff and bodies and embassies be proud that every initiative of Kazakhstan has been accepted or even accepted as the resolution of United Nations. And Kazakhstan always following for the body, for the charter of United Nations and following all principles, not only accepting it, but following and integrating it in our Kazakhstani's life, in policy, in economy, in environment, in human humanity and freedom. But you know that in this very difficult time of our roundtable, we all, from the beginning, as you mentioned yourself, we refused from nuclear weapon, and we are following consequently to live and to keep our planet without atomic arm, atomic and nuclear weapon. And today is very actual that we are still looking for and hoping that the world will be free of any kind of armament, and especially war and serious conflicts between members of United Nations. You know that we are not bad people, and we try to be helpful to another people and nations. Thank you so much again for being with us, working with us, and having hope to our brilliant future. Thank you. My congratulations with the first day of spring, and I hope it will bring hope and bright future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Abarganom Aitumova, for interesting speech. And now I want to give a speech to the new member of our team, director of the Institute for Green Sustainable Development, Kazakh National Agrarian Research University, His Excellency. Director of the Institute for Green Sustainable Okay. Before Rafiz will making speech, I want to give the speech to His Excellency Mr. Andre Carstens.
Thank you very much, and for this kind of deviation of the script. But I would like to make use of this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation for the words you just spoke, Mrs. Aitimova. And you know, we had a meeting yesterday in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You might be aware of that, where we really urged your government not to stay aside, because to be neutral or not speak out in these difficult days is not enough. We really need you, and all the more reason that Kazakhstan has such an excellent track record, as you described, and is such an authority in the entire world, but in particular in this part of the world, to speak out against the atrocities which are going on as we speak now in one of our brother countries in the region. And well, this is unprecedented, unacceptable. So we need, of course, we already have your moral support, but every kind of signal you and your colleagues are able to give in the right direction, and we all know what the right direction is, will be crucial for the coming days of fear. But if you allow me, I would call the coming days and weeks also a time of hope, because we really hope for a better future, and we believe in a peaceful solution. And so, well, every mistake can be repaired and should be repaired. So we are strong enough to come over this. And thank you again for this opportunity to underline this very important moment, because we want a planet in which we can live and we can do the things we need to do. And then we return to agriculture, which is, of course, of essence for people to be able to have food and healthy access to clean water, etc., etc. So back to the topic of the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Andre Carstens, for your comment. And now Our director of the Institute for Green Sustainable Development, Rafiz Abazov, will make presentation of the university project on the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and the United Nations Academic Impact Program. Your Excellency, Rafiz Abazov, microphone is yours. And the United Nations Academic Impact Program.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, Your Excellencies, dear participants of this event. I would like to highlight importance of today's gathering. Number one, 30 years ago, Kazakhstan became member of United Nations. This event opened a lot of doors for international collaboration, for international cooperation, for international exchanges, including field of education. Today, we would like to use this opportunity not only to talk about the past, what's happened 30 years ago, but also to talk about our plans for today and tomorrow. We would like to use this opportunity to announce that university would like to say that after 3 difficult years of COVID, after 3 difficult years of quarantines, and after 3 difficult years of restrictions, university, all staff members, all managers, all students are ready to move forward with new ideas, with new innovations and new initiatives. We are open for collaboration. We would like to call all people who participate here around this round table, all participants who are online, that university would like to call for collaboration, for restoring, not only restoring exchanges, academic research collaboration, educational exchanges, but also to move forward with new ideas and new initiatives. And without further ado, I will tell you about one initiative which was launched quite recently. Idea is to establish International Institute for Green and Sustainable Development. Idea is very simple. We need to bring together many things what university achieved in the past under the big umbrella of sustainable development. Talking about it, we talk about educational development, science and research and development, and international collaboration. Idea is to use international experience, not only to create like new institution full of people, but actually use different way. New approach in international collaboration, networking, but on above it, like very recent development, talk about networks of networks. We would like to network our educators, our researchers with networks from different countries from around the world. Today, I could see here our partners from Hungary, our partners from Turkey. Online, we have our partners from many countries in Europe. Idea is to bring networks of teachers and educators together to work and use this opportunity to achieve something new. So again, talking about our vision, we talk about education, we talk about science and publications, and we talk about ranking international programs. So in the field of education, we would like to talk about academic exchanges. We would like to see more international students here at Kaznaru. We have beautiful, we could see beautiful campus, beautiful facilities, latest technologies. So Kaznaru has something to share. And in the exchange, we have wonderful students, very eager to learn. Right now, they learn international foreign languages from English, German, Turkish, Hungarian as well, Italian, Spanish. So we would like to show them for the world how to do is better. And one of the initiatives, it's like our flagship program. We would like to launch it this year. It's MBA, Executive MBA and Mini MBA. Idea is with help from our partners from around the world to prepare top managers for Kazakh economy, for Central Asian partners, and maybe for people who in your countries, those who would like to get better knowledge through exchanges, through educational programs. Next, science and publications. Idea is that we would like to bring our brains together to build better and more sustainable future. We believe that in the middle of the sustainable city, in the middle of sustainable region, in the middle of sustainable country, should be university, and university experts in the university intellectuals, intellectual hub, which might offer many solutions. University would like to launch several initiatives, several conferences, international conferences this year. One will be in the spring, second will be in the fall. We are ready to and open for collaboration for additional events jointly with our international partners, having here or in your partner countries, or maybe hybrid, like it's what became popular in this part of in this time. And again, we would like to call all our partners from all scholars from different universities for working on joint publications, on doing research, and not only research for research, but taking this research to next level, contributing to the development of our society. Unfortunately, climate change affects everyone around the world, and we need to find new tools, new ways, new approaches how to deal with climate change. And I believe coming together, bring the brains of best scholars from your countries, from our country, from your university, from our university, we can achieve a lot. Then talk about international programs. University has several programs. Within a few minutes, we will go to visit a couple of facilities at this university. But idea is to bring more in field of education, to build maybe new approaches, new concepts, new ways, innovative ways, how to collaborate, establish collaboration between different universities. Again, in your countries, in your regions, and in this country and in this university. We talk about international marketing, we talk about public relations, we talk about promoting knowledge. We would like to attract students to learn more. In our case, we call it STEM, science, engineering, mathematics, and technologies, but narrowing down to specific nature of this university, talking more about agriculture, everything related to agriculture. And plus, it's maybe one step forward. We need people who know international market, international relations, those who can bring product from Kazakhstan to foreign countries, and the foreign product effectively bring to these countries. Technologies what we can develop here to your countries, and the new technologies what you develop in your countries to come back here. We are talking about international collaboration and exchanges. The list is very long. I believe the university has more than 100 MOUs with different countries from around the world. We put like short list of our current partners with whom KazNaru works and would like to deepen the educational exchanges and academic and scientific collaboration. But we would like to add to this list more universities, more countries, and I believe university has a lot of potentials to do it. We also would like to highlight our collaboration with UN agencies and UN entities. University is very proud to be part of United Nations Academic Impact for already more than 5 years. University is part of United Nations Academic Impact and working with different agencies to collaborate, to coordinate our actions, our ideas, our plans to build better world, to implement sustainable development goals, and to work on implementing a UN Agenda 2030 and achieve to make contribution to mitigating climate change problems. It's our structure of our institution. It's quite small. It's very dynamic. Please feel to contact every staff members, every member of this university, if you have any ideas, any suggestions for collaboration on academic exchanges and sciences, on research and development, and on other form of exchange which make our world better, which made our science and the universities richer, and which help us to move forward. Thank you very much, Kop Rahmet, spasiba, and I hope that this meeting will be not last. We will welcome you in future during our academic events, and I hope we will have a lot of opportunities to welcome students from your country in this university and students from this university in your countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Mr. Rafiz Abazov. And according to our program, it was the last report on this round table. We are so glad to meet at this event, and we are so thankful to all to participate in this event. Now our rector wants to make a last comment.
Уважаемые коллеги, я еще раз хотел бы поблагодарить наших гостей. Я думаю, мы не первый раз встречаемся у нас в университете. Огромное спасибо. Мы всегда имеем большую поддержку от наших партнеров. И в тот день, когда мы сегодня отмечаем 30-летие нашего мероприятия, и я еще раз хотел бы сказать, что наше непростое, сложное время, я хотел бы пожелать вам доброго здоровья, благополучия, счастья в семье. И до скорой встречи у нас в университете. Мы по плану намечаем очень много мероприятий до конца учебного года. Я думаю, обязательно мы до вас будем доводить. И хотел бы сказать большое-большое спасибо. Особенно нашему большому другу Властимир, вам огромное спасибо. До скорой встречи. Мы хотели бы сейчас познакомить вас с институтом Вагенген, а также с микроклональной лабораторией, международной микроклональной лабораторией. Это как малый завод. Я об этом своим коллегам говорил, что 44% раз увеличилось заражение плодовые и ягодные культуры бактериальным ожогом. Чтобы ежегодно пополнить и поддержать наших фермеров, около 3,5 миллионов саженцев, здоровых саженцев, и наша лаборатория сейчас проводит большую работу. В университете при агротехнологическом хабе сегодня работает 11 научно-исследовательских институтов, 8 научных центров, 49 исследовательских лабораторий. Мы реализуем 18 международных проектов. 4 института подведомственного Министерства сельского хозяйства Республики Казахстан переданы нашему университету. В Алмате еще работает 4 научно-исследовательских институтов Министерства сельского хозяйства. Мы с ними работаем в консорциуме. В перспективе, я думаю, эти институты тоже будут переданы нашему университету. Это международная норма, международные требования. В научно-исследовательских институтах мировые университеты, как Вагенген, другие университеты, непосредственно совместно работает с научно-исследовательскими институтами. Спасибо вам.
Thank you very much. And now I want to ask our online participants to switch on the screens to make collective photo. Дорогие участники, онлайн-участники, могли бы включить свои экраны, чтобы мы могли сделать коллективное фото. Асылхан сейчас сделает. Включить свои экраны, чтобы мы могли сделать коллективное фото. Асылхан сейчас сделает. Включить свои экраны, чтобы мы могли сделать коллективное фото. Асылхан сейчас сделает. Thank you very much. I hope we'll meet in the future, and maybe on next events we'll make another joint events with you. Thank you very much. Maybe on next events we'll